Hi, today from Split in Croatia. Today we will talk about one of the billion-dollar secrets that most people are not aware of. Stay with me till the end of this video. There will be a contest and something to win. I have to excuse myself today because my camera got wet and crashed, and I will have to use my mobile phone to record this video for you today. I want to give you this information. I am here in the middle of the Diocletian Palace in Split, Croatia, and as you see, this is a great, wonderful, very good preserved ancient Roman palace, a huge piece of architecture, around 200 meters, 40,000 square meters of ancient architecture, surrounded by huge walls, huge fortification. Behind me you can see the mausoleum of Diocletian, which then was reconstructed into a Catholic basilica, and here you can see also some changes in the construction. Some of the sides of the peristyle were changed into palace walls, but generally it is very good preserved, and it is huge. It's 200 times 200 meters in size, the whole palace, and it means 40,000 square meters. It's huge. And outside you have strong city walls or strong palace walls, which are also very good preserved. Diocletian built it around the year 300, and he built it for himself, for his retirement. And can you imagine this? This is huge. This is 40,000 square meters. It's protected by walls, and after the fall of Roman Empire, inside the palace, medieval city was founded. It's the foundation of Split. So the entire city existed inside the palace walls. It is so huge. And of course, when they set up the medieval city, it's a little bit more chaotic than, of course, the Roman architecture. And they destroyed a lot of the palace. They just, took the material, the raw material, the building material, the building blocks from the palace to construct their houses, maybe their buildings, and also the cathedral tower. So they destroyed a lot of the palace by doing that. But for example, the cellar, the underground of the palace is very good preserved, and here the peristyle, there are some sphinx also still preserved, and also the mausoleum, which was then reconstructed or remodeled into a basilica. Okay, but coming back to the topic, I often talk about doing the impossible, about doing great things, and I ask people the question: is it possible to become a king? Or is it possible for you to become a king or a queen? Most people say no. It's you need to be born in a certain country, and you need to be born a nobleman or whatever. But in reality, Diocletian is an example of somebody who was born in low circumstances. He wasn't born in nobility. Through his lifetime, he was suspected to be a so-called freedman, or a son of freedmans. And freedman meant he was just a liberated slave, or his parents were liberated slaves, and nevertheless he managed to become a Roman Caesar through achievement. Of course, he made a military career. At that time, only that career could make you a Caesar, but nevertheless, it became possible for him. He managed to do that, and he was not just one of the Caesars, or any Caesar. He actually was extremely a very successful Caesar, because at the end, or throughout the 3rd century, Rome was in a state of anarchy. In 50 years before Diocletian came to power, 40 Caesars existed. 40 Caesars came to power and then were killed or died. Many people came to power by just killing the former Caesar and just claiming to be Caesar by military power. And Diocletian put an end to this anarchy, and he stayed at power for over 20 years. And he was the first emperor, the first Caesar, who actually peacefully and voluntarily abdicated from power. He set up a system of 4 Caesars. He divided the Roman Imperium into 4 parts, ruled by 4 different Caesars. And he set up the Caesars, and then he said, you know, I am too old already, and I don't feel like I have the health to coordinate all of that, and I just want to enjoy my last days in peace. And he just withdrew from politics and stayed in this palace here, and he built actually his palace and also his mausoleum himself, just, you know, for his retirement. And he stayed for, I guess, 20 years here in this palace. What he achieved is he put an end to the anarchy in the 3rd century. Then he also made some decisive political and administratory changes in the empire that allowed the empire to survive other 200 years. If not for Diocletian, Roman Empire would fall in the 3rd century. And thanks to his reforms, thanks to his activities, Roman Empire was able to stay in existence till 480, and then actually the Eastern Empire, the Eastern Roman Empire, stayed in existence for 1,000 years longer. Due to his administrative changes, the Roman Empire was divided long term into 2 parts, in the western part and the eastern part. It was necessary because the Roman Empire at that time was so huge, it wasn't rulable. You couldn't control it anymore in that size, so it needed to be divided up in several parts, administrative parts, and be ruled by different people, different Caesars. So he divided it up in 4 parts. Then long term it stayed in 2 parts, and thanks to that change, the Roman Empire didn't fall completely. Just the western part fell in the year 480, but the eastern part stayed in existence 1,000 years longer. And this is all thanks to Diocletian. But coming back to the topic, why am I telling you all this about Diocletian? Because Diocletian achieved so much in his life. He became a Caesar. He became one of the most important Caesars in the late period of the empire. His legacy is this wonderful palace that became a city of Split later. And he achieved so much in his life. And I want to tell you today about one thing that is important to achieve great things, about that he employed, and also that nowadays billionaires employ, and that most people don't pay attention to it, most people ignore and forget. What is it? Here we have it on the eastern wall of the Diocletian palace. Nosse te ipsum, meaning know yourself. This is an inscription from the Middle Ages, or probably from the Renaissance period, when the Diocletian palace was rebuilt, and you can see there were some Middle Ages or Renaissance palaces built on the walls or around the walls of the Diocletian palace. But this formula was very valid for Diocletian, and it is as well valid for all the self-made billionaires I have interviewed. And this gives you one of the strategies you need to employ in order to become extremely successful in your life, in your business, and to do things considered impossible by others. Know yourself. What is it about? Vincent Law made me aware of that. It means you should know what are your strengths and your weaknesses. Where are you good at? Where are you not that good at? What turns you on? And what interests you? And what you don't care about. All these things you should be aware of. What are your talents and what are your, let's say, least talented sides? You should be aware of all that topics, of all that points. Why? Because it doesn't make sense to spend a lot of time on your weaknesses. This is something that our education gets wrong. Education system wants you to have a knowledge of many topics, but naturally you can't be good at many topics. You will be just average, right? And if you want to get good grades at school, you have to actually spend more time on the topics you are not good at and you are not interested in and you are not talented in order to get the same grades as in the topics where you actually are good at and you are interested in. And this is a paradox, right? So our educational system actually makes you spend most of your time on things that you are not interested in, that you are not good at, that you are not talented in, that you don't care about. But when you want to perform good at school, you have to do that in order also to get good grades in that topics. But this is not how you achieve success, how you do great things in your life or in business. In order to be extraordinarily good, you need to focus on the things you are good at, on your talents, on your upper side, so to say. This is the side you should develop. You should focus on your talents. And in business, you should do only the things you are good at, and for all the other things that you are not good at, you are not interested in, that you don't like to do, you should find either business partners or employees that will take away from you these tasks. You should find people that are good in that areas, that are interested, maybe fascinated about that areas, about that topics, and they will take these parts away from you and take care of them. And this is how you achieve great things in business, how you can become extraordinarily good, because you can be only good in one or two things. And if you spend your time on becoming better in the things you are not talented in the things you are not interested in the painful things for you, then you don't have time to become really good, to become the best in the things you are really good at, or where you could actually be the best in the world. And this is the only way to become the best. And the only way to be extraordinary, to do impossible things, to do great things, is when you are one of the best in the world, or when you are the best in the world. And this you can only becoming the things that you are interested in, that you are good at, and that you are talented about, right? So focus on these things. In your private life, you should just protect your downside. You protect against the things you are not good at, because they could actually kill you, right? I mean, they could kill you in the business world, and they can become very comfortable in the private life. So you should protect against them, but don't spend time on them. Don't spend too much time, don't put too much effort into them, into trying to overcome your weaknesses or trying to overcome your shortcomings. Do the best you can in the things you are good at. Do the minimal things to protect against your shortcomings. And this is something Vincent Law made me aware of. Vincent Law is a self-made billionaire from Hong Kong, and he is the largest private landowner in China. He owns around 20 square kilometers in the very centers of the largest cities in China. Everything is commercial real estate. For example, CCND, maybe if you know CCND in Shanghai, this is an area around half square kilometer, maybe 1 square kilometer, that belongs to Shui On. This is the company by Vincent Law. And the funny thing is, belonging to that area is the building where the Communist Party of China was set up, was created, and now it belongs to one of the largest capitalists in China. And he made it into a private club where he received special guests, and we had a lunch there one day. So pretty funny, and Vincent Law made me aware of that principle. This is not the only thing you need to have in order to achieve such extraordinary things, but this is something that is needed for sure, and many people forget about it. Many people ignore it or just don't know about that. And actually all self-made billionaires I have been talking to, they employed that principle in their lives, in their businesses. For example, Jack Cohen, Australian self-made billionaire who owns around 3,000 restaurants. This is the guy who brought KFC to Australia, and later also Burger King, which is named Hungry Jack's in Australia by his name. And he also developed the Domino's Pizza franchise in Australia and in 9 other countries. So it is around 3,000 restaurants that he has a controlling share in. And this guy went to a franchise seminar by KFC, where they were showing how to manage KFC franchise, how to organize the workflows, and also how to fry the chickens. And he burned his fingers while trying to fry the chicken. So he realized this is not something he would like to do, or this is not something he is talented in. So he realized he needs a general manager to set all these workflows, to school, to train the employees. And this was one of the pivot points of the decisive steps or realizations he had to make in order to become so extremely successful in his business. He names it as a turning point, as a decisive takeaway from the initial stages of his enterprise. So, once again, know yourself, know your strengths, know your talents, know the things you are interested in, and know your shortcomings, know the things you are not interested in. And then focus on developing, on strengthening, on becoming the best in the things you are good at. Choose 1, 2, maybe 3 things, focus on them, and then protect your downside. Find co-workers, find employees, find business partners to support you with the things you are not good at. Don't try to be the jack of all trades. Don't try to be good in everything. This is the way to mediocrity. This is the way to failure. Don't do that. I can see you like this video. Give me a thumb up, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell button in order not to miss my other videos. I talk a lot about how the best entrepreneurs in the world think, how the self-made billionaires in our world think that I have interviewed. I talk about how to do the impossible, how to think and act in order to achieve extraordinary great things. I invite you to comment. Let's talk about your experiences, your thoughts about the topic in that video. Share this video with your loved ones, with your friends. One day they will thank you for that. I promise a contest in the end of this video, so let's do it this way. Share this video on your social media with maybe some quote from that video, maybe with your comment to that video, and then provide some proof in the comment. And among the best shares I will choose one winner, and the winner will get a copy of the bestseller I have co-authored with Brian Tracy, who is the best business teacher in the world, the best personal performance trainer. The special edition looks like that, and the winner will get the special edition with my personal dedication. So if you like this video, you will certainly like my other videos. Here you will find some of my best videos. I invite you to watch them. I wish you a fantastic day today. Let's do something extraordinary today.